Actually, it's kind of an interesting story in terms of how I feel about virtual choruses. So, when in 2015, my last semester of college, I took a semester of conducting with my choral conductor that I had been studying with for the past 4 years in chorus. And we watched a video of one of Eric Whitaker's virtual choruses. And in that seminar, we had a discussion about whether or not this can be called a chorus, like virtual chorus. Is this chorus? What does this mean? And I think all of us at that time in 2015, when the world was different, felt like it wasn't a good expression of like why we're actually there in chorus. Like we're not, because we're there to sing with people and to socialize and just to get that experience of singing with people, working with people towards some kind of project. And while we thought it was a cool project in itself as a virtual chorus, like we understood the amount of time and effort and the fact that it was a new medium that it took to kind of put that together, we just didn't feel like it should have been called a chorus project. So we were all a little bit skeptical of it. But then come 2020, I actually submitted for a virtual chorus for Eric Choate, actually. So I work and I assist and sing for the Episcopal Church of St. Mary the Virgin, where Eric Choate music directs. So we did a virtual chorus project pretty early on after Shelter in Place started. And I was still skeptical while I was submitting to it because I had these thoughts, back from 2015, thinking, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about this project, but I'm still going to submit. But then it got me singing. First of all, it got me singing again. And then hearing that final project, I think it was just nice to hear everyone's voices because I could hear Ellen and I could hear Stephen and I could hear Conrad and I could hear Molly. Like I could hear them all in that project. And it was nice to be able to hear everyone's voices again. And so I think being a part of that kind of project with people that you know and care about and whose voices I think it was just really nice. It was like a warm hug in this very confusing and strange time. And so I thought that, especially because I was kind of getting into audio editing and recording practices to create practice tracks for my high school students, I thought, well, I kind of am figuring out how to use this software myself. I think it'd be interesting if we were to put together a BCCO virtual chorus. So that's kind of what started that journey and idea for me. And so then I ran it by Ming, and he was the one who suggested the Ave Verum Corpus, partially because since this was a new project for all of us, that it would be good to use a piece that we all know and love, because I think if people knew it and felt comfortable with the music and enjoyed the music and liked the piece, they would be more willing to kind of be part of the project. And it would be more enjoyable as you go through it. I think with the added stress, since the recording process is new to all of us and the editing process is new to me, I think just knowing that you already have one thing down about the process, like the piece, I think it makes it easier going into the project. So that's how we kind of decided on the piece. And then, the fact that it's like, it doesn't require an orchestra, right? Because I know that that's normally the repertoire that we learn is big masterworks that include orchestra. So that obviously was one thing. So the piano accompaniment could be used instead. And then in terms of putting it together and editing it, I also wanted to include the section leaders and to have rehearsals because, as I mentioned, one of the things in 2015 that the conducting class didn't quite see in the virtual choir project as, it just seems like everyone was in their own room recording their own pieces, and it wasn't a choir project, as I had mentioned. So I wanted to make it more of that community experience by including the sectionals. And I think part of that was to get us singing again, to get us in rehearsals again, to get so that we can see each other's faces on Zoom and also have time to socialize, which is what you do at a choir rehearsal. So even though it wasn't supposed to replace what we can normally do for our Monday rehearsals, it was in a way that we could kind of try to find and reclaim that rehearsal experience in this virtual format. And a way to make this virtual choir project a little bit more communal. So that was the idea behind the sectionals as well. and also to make sure that we're all on the same page for the piece before we record. And then now that I have everyone's submissions, it's been really fun to edit everything. I know it's taking a lot of time, but it's been really fun to line everyone's voices up. And the second that you get everyone really lined up, it's really wonderful to hear everyone's voices again. So yeah.